Ba 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 ba. What's going on? It's Javan Johnson here. You're watching episode number 109 of About 10 Minutes. How you feeling? How you doing? This is a time of year where a lot of people have recently graduated. So congratulations to the recent graduates. You know, I can remember graduating from high school and college. Those were some fun times, you know what I mean? It was some fun times. The thing about it is when we graduate from something, that's not the night where we learn all the information. That's not the night where we're taking all the notes and doing all the studying and got our highlighters out and all that kind of stuff. But that's the time where we get acknowledged and we get to move on to the next thing. Something like high school, college, it has a certain structure to it. You know, it has a certain structure to it. So, you know, you do X amount of work for X amount of time and you eventually graduate and you know it's coming. In life, we also have different experiences. And while we may not go through a traditional graduation, there could be different experiences that lead to us learning something we need to learn for something later on in life. Similar to how when you learn certain things in school, it will help you out in a job situation later on.
Come on, praise the Lord Jesus Christ. Come on, praise the Lord Jesus Christ.
So anyhow, my most recent blog entry, I was talking about patience. On Tuesday, I blogged about patience. So it's so important in our lives that we're patient and that we endure that process. I mean, for those of you who have graduated, could you just picture this? Because you right on the edge, you right on the verge of graduating, you got one more class that you need to take. And then you're just like, man, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this no more. You know, on the outside looking in, people who can see that you're so close to graduate, maybe like a counselor or your family or things like that, they could come in and tell you like, no, you so close. Don't stop now. You so close. You put in all this work. Don't stop now. Sometimes in our everyday lives, we can be very close to something that God is doing in our lives, and we can want to stop or we can get frustrated or discouraged, you know, right before we get to that point where it's like we're about to move on to that next thing. But the thing is, we don't always see it. You know, God's ways are higher than our ways, so he can see things that we can't see. You know, and so he has a perspective that we don't have, and so it's so important that we trust him and that we're patient throughout that process. If you think back to a time, there could be a time in college where, you know, you could have been really good in a lot of classes, but it could have been like that one class that was really challenging for you. And so the thing about it is throughout that time, you know, you may have to just take a different type of method. Okay, I'm going to have to study this different, or I'm going to have to get some help in this area, or whatever it is. You had to take necessary steps to get through that. You know, but the important thing was not to quit, but to keep moving forward. And so it's important for us to do that in our walk, in our Christian walk. I mean, sometimes we may be faced with different challenges that we don't understand. It may seem difficult, but the thing is to continue to rely upon Jesus Christ, and then to also, you know, spend time around our brothers and sisters in Christ. You know, I mean, as God leads you, I do think it's important to be mindful of who you go to for guidance. I mean, you know, you don't just want to go just to anybody just because they're professing to be a Christian or something like that. You do want to use some wisdom in that regard. So, you know, so it's important to realize that we're not in this thing alone. But the thing about it is, it's important to have patience even when we're learning. And you can think back to a time in your childhood. I mean, maybe it was riding a bike or learning to skate or doing something like that. It may have been challenging at first because it was different to you. You weren't used to riding a bike, or you had to get your balance and things of that nature. And it could have been a little frustrating at first. It could have been a little uncomfortable at first. But then once you got used to it, it was fun. It was real fun. And so the thing about it is, you know, sometimes in our Christian walk, we may go through things that are uncomfortable. It may seem a little bit uncomfortable. But it's important that we don't give up during those times, but that we continue to move forward. And that we don't allow frustration to stop us from learning. You know, there's so many lessons we can learn from different experiences that we go through in life that can help us later on. The thing about it is, if God is taking us through that process, it's important for us to stick with it and learn it. I mean, you think about it, there's certain things that you learned in elementary school that was important for you later on. I mean, certain foundational things. At first, it may have been a little different for you because you may not have been used to it, but it was important for you to learn how to do that stuff because you're going to need that for other things you're going to learn later on in school. So it's important for us to have patience throughout the process as we're learning, you know, to have patience. And it's also important for us to be patient with other people as well. I mean, you can just think about it like this. Think about if you had like a 10th grader who goes into a room full of 5th graders and start looking at the work they're doing and saying, your work easy, y'all work easy, that's not hard, the work we doing is hard. If you was to see something happening, you'd probably be thinking, okay, they're 5th graders, you're in the 10th grade. I mean, you went through that process already. And so it's important to remember that different people are at different phases in their walk with Jesus Christ, so it's important for us to show forth love, you know, and to be patient with other people as well. Not to excuse things that they're doing. If we see a brother or sister doing something that's wrong, then yeah, we should still say something to them. But if they don't have as much Bible knowledge as you or something like that, it's important not to make them feel bad because of that, but it's important to encourage them. Alright, and then some other news. Those of you who follow me on Instagram may have noticed that I started posting again. And so you can be on the lookout for more things, you know, on my Instagram and even on my Twitter and Facebook as well. So I'm trying to get back more active on my social networks and whatnot. You may have noticed, even on Twitter, I was doing some more tweeting and whatnot here, more as of recent.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Coach Frank. For those of you who don't know me, I am a legendary basketball player and basketball coach. I played against some of the all-time greats. I think I deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know what they're waiting for, but I think I deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm here to teach you guys basketball skills because I played against some of the all-time greats. And tonight my emphasis is rebounding. I went toe-to-toe with some of the all-time great rebounders, including Kyle Stallone, Charles Barkley, and Dennis Rodley. There's something you can do. You lean on the court, have a basketball with you, and watch the basketball. Just watch the basketball. When the shot goes up, so just picture somebody shooting the ball. The shot goes up, it bounces off the rim, it comes back. You don't take your eye off the ball. When you're rebounding, if this is the basket, you want to make sure that you block out the potential opponent from getting to the ball. Another important thing to remember is when you think about boxing out, picture a shoebox. Picture a shoebox when you think about boxing out, and then you just think of the box opening up like boxing out of the way. When the ball comes off the rim, you grab the ball. You look around, then you dribble. Then you dribble over the other man, outlet the ball.
So I want to thank you for watching episode number 109 of About 10 Minutes. Have a blessed week.